Your name was chosen for you before you existed. You had no say in it. Someone looked at you, or only imagined you, and picked a small arrangement of sounds that would follow you into every room for the rest of your life. And that sound may have quietly shaped who you became. You are not imagining how strange that is. A name feels like a label, a sticker on the outside of a person. You assume the real you lives underneath it, untouched. But the real answer is far stranger, because the label may have been reaching inward the whole time. Think about what your name actually does. It is the first thing people learn about you. It arrives before your face, before your voice, before a single thing you have ever done. And in that first instant, before you say one word, other people begin to guess who you are. What does that guessing do to a life? Start with a small, almost silly discovery. In 1985, a Belgian psychologist named Jozef Nuttin noticed that when people were asked which letters of the alphabet they simply liked, they preferred the letters in their own name, especially their initials. They could not explain why. Nuttin called it the name letter effect, and it has been repeated across dozens of languages. Some part of you is quietly drawn to the shape of your own name. Where else is it hiding? That question became the work of the psychologist Pelham. With his colleagues, he proposed an idea called implicit egotism. You are unconsciously drawn toward things that resemble you. And since your name is one of the most you things there is, you may be pulled toward people, places, and careers that echo it. His team reported that people named Dennis became dentists at surprising rates, that Georges drifted toward Georgia, Florences toward Florida. Does that unsettle you? It should. Now, this idea has been challenged. The researcher Yuri Simonson argued the effect is far smaller than it first appeared. Real science argues with itself, so hold Dennis the dentist loosely. But do not throw the larger question away. Because the strongest evidence that names shape lives comes not from where people move, but from how people are treated. Consider the economist David Figlio, who studied the names of thousands of school children. He found that a name could predict how teachers responded to a child, and how the child came to see themselves. Boys given names more often linked to girls were more likely to develop behavioral problems in middle school, right when a name becomes a target. The name did not change the child, it changed the world that met the child every morning. Why would a name carry that much weight? Because of something psychologists call the Pygmalion effect. In the 1960s, Robert Rosenthal told teachers that certain randomly chosen students were about to bloom. By year's end, those children really had gained more than their classmates. Nothing about them was special, only the expectations around them had changed. And your name is an expectation machine. The moment someone hears it, they load it with everything they associate with it, before you have earned a single opinion. There is a subtler layer still. The psychologists Simon Laham and Adam Alter found that people with names that are easier to pronounce are judged more positively, more trustworthy, even more electable. Not because the name is beautiful, but because your brain mistakes an easy sound for a good person. So a name is not a sticker. It is a signal, broadcasting constantly, shaping everyone's reaction to you before you get a word in. And you slowly become the person they keep responding to. But here is the twist. Your name shapes you most when you are not paying attention to it. The nudge, the expectation, the pull of a fluent sound, all of it works in the dark. It depends on your assuming your name is neutral, which means the moment you notice, something changes. People rename themselves all the time, and not out of vanity. Immigrants softening a name for a new country. Performers choosing a name that fits who they intend to become. Anyone who asks to be called something truer. Each of them takes hold of a sound chosen before they existed, and turns a thing done to them into a thing they do. A name only writes your story while you believe you did not pick up the pen. Your name was chosen for you before you existed. But who it turns you into, from this moment on, was never really up to the name. It was always up to you.